What's inside of you changed the course of everything?
Fear of ever living that lifestyle that we did when we were growing up. It's like, it sounds sad, but it's like those moments, like that's what puts it inside of you. It's like, there's got to be a better way. I want to take care of people. I never want to go through that again. I think you can be successful in anything you do. Like if you just do it the right way and you're just a good person.
It's easier when we come from where we come from because we know how the opposite side is.
You go back to those places and you remember, it's like, holy shit, there's like a completely different life. Like 87% of America or something crazy is like, doesn't even have $1,000 to their name.
24 years old, 100K in a year. All you got to do is make $273 a day.
What's also is like how people probably look at that stat and it's like, how the hell am I going to make $270? Now to us, like obviously like as entrepreneurs, like you can make that in a second.
What are some of your secrets of like protecting yourself against some of that risk?
90% of all traders fail. The risk is really you just own the shares. So that's it.
What do you want the legacy of Scott to be?
I want to change generational curses.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Elliott Caldwell Podcast on Successful DNA. I am here with my friend Scott Vasilisin. Scott, welcome to the pod.
Thanks, man. I'm
Am I the first
here.
person to pronounce your last name correctly?
I was surprised. I was surprised when you said that. Like
I cheated. I saw you. I heard you say it on Instagram. I didn't get lucky. Well, thanks for coming, man. I'm excited to dive in. Let's start with this. I feel like we're going to talk a lot about like trading options because obviously that's one of your top things.
Yeah.
So explain options just real quick to get started. Like you're explaining it to a fifth grader, and then also what weekly covered calls are and why that's some of your focus.
Damn, we're going right into it, man.
Let's get in there.
Some of those, I mean, it's tough. Options are very tough and they're very scary for a lot of people that don't know them. Everybody knows how to buy a stock, hold it, say you get rich over time, like the Warren Buffett effect. That's really not how it works. And then social media paints this horrible, horrible image that options can make you rich overnight, which is something which I kind of feel like has held my like social media back because I don't try to feed people bullshit. I'm not being like, hey, I made $100,000 in a day or these options made me rich overnight, like that type of strategy that most people do to get more views. And the way I would describe options is it's really like the financial term of it is like it's a derivative of a stock, which is this like horrible different language than most people would want to know. Like if they're not in the finance world, they're like, what the hell's a derivative? You know, like what is this? It sounds too complicated. I don't want to get involved. And the way I like to describe it to people is it's basically a contract that has an expiration and you can bet on a stock price going up or down. And the way that I would describe is that let's say this is an ice cube, right? And you set it on a counter. As soon as you bring it out of the freezer, it's going to be strong and intact, right? And as it gets closer to its core, it's going to melt faster and faster and faster, right? That's the same thing as an option contract. As soon as it's, written or on the options chain. So let's talk about Amazon, for example. Amazon is a stock. It's probably about $200 a share right now. And there's an option contract every single week that you can trade it. So it's like, hey, I think this week option or Amazon contracts or Amazon stock price is going to be at 205. Once it's at 205, you want it to get to that price before the end of the week. And if it's above it, these option contracts make you a shit ton more money than it would be to hold the shares. Because if you own one share at $200 and it only gets to 205, you make $5. In an option contract, it's probably $200 a contract, but if it gets above your certain price, maybe it's at 210, that contract's probably worth like $400 or $500. So you can make double your money, but that's where a lot of people fuck up because they're looking at the opportunity to buy an option contract and double their money. But like I said, this is an ice cube that's continually melting on you. So it's kind of like being in the casino. The house always wins, right? If you're at a craps table, if you're familiar with craps, you're always trying to bet the pass line. And if you roll a 7, which is the best odds in the game, the house wins. Then you lose everything on the table. That's kind of how an option contract is designed. So the stock market is the casino. The writers of the contracts are the casino. But you as the buyer, you're holding something that's literally decaying or melting like this ice cube right here. And as it gets closer to its expiration date, which is every Friday, or if you buy some long-term options, then they start to deteriorate on you. So you have to be right at the right time because you can be right, but if you're right at the wrong time, you're still wrong. So it's kind of tough to...
What if you're wrong at the wrong time?
then you're just losing money anyways. You're basically, it's kind of like gambling. You're literally gambling if you're buying options. I mean, there's strategy behind it for sure, which we could go into a long.
What are some of your secrets of like protecting yourself against some of that risk?
I don't buy options anymore. I sell them, which is a completely different can of worms. So
let's get into that. What's different about that?
So when you sell, so buying options is basically like the risky stuff. It's more of like, I actually just made a video of this in the parking lot while I was waiting to come in here. But there's a statistic that's crazy that 90% of all traders fail, that statistic used to blow my mind. And I literally just made this exact video until I got, familiar with the space, better in the space, learned how to trade. And we didn't talk about this, but I actually started out in the New York Stock Exchange. So I learned like from some of the greats, like trading on the floor of the NYSE during COVID. It was crazy. And I got to meet in the options market a lot. I got to meet people in the options exchange a lot. They're separate entities, but learning from them. Selling options is, I'm sorry, your question was to sell options. Yeah. Like how do you sell them? It's basically how it's, so you when you're trying to like turn money into, how I said Amazon's like, you're trying to make 200 to 400, right? The way I would describe selling options is like real life Monopoly. So you can basically collect $200 every time you pass go in real life, correct? This is the same exact system, same exact like money grab you could think of. Like when you're looking at an options chain, I know this is probably like kind of in-depth stuff, but if you're looking at a contract that's $200 and you're trying to figure out how to make $200 on that, if you make 100% on a trade, you're like, fuck yeah, that's the best trade I've ever made. 100%, like you just doubled your money. Why wouldn't you look at the options chain and just sell that option that's $200, take it off the market and put it in your pocket? Because it's going to go to zero anyway. Why wouldn't you sell it? It's basically like becoming the house of the casino when you sell these contracts. They're melting, like this ice cube is melting, and now I'm just sitting here and waiting. Now I get back my time. Now I'm just collecting income. I'm the house of the casino as it starts to deteriorate. So
what's the risk there?
This is the best part. There really isn't any. And there is risk, of course. Like if you buy, let me ask you a question. If you were to buy Amazon stock, what's the risk to you?
That it goes down.
Yeah, but over time, let's say 10 years, do you believe in the company, like some of these big FANG stocks? Like what if it's like the QQQ or the SPY, the overall market? Like what's your risk of investing money? Because on average, over time, if you look at any max chart, it's just constant flow up. Yeah. Sometimes there's Trump making a shitty tweet or like Elon and Trump beefing and stocks go down, right? But in the grand scheme of things, if you zoom out 2-3 years, it's just a steady chart up, right? So continue to buy on those crazy drop days, right? It's the dollar cost averaging. It's the Warren Buffetts. It's the people that just say, just buy and hold. But there's ways to make income on a short term basis without like giving a shit ton of risk.
You made any money on the vitality of Tesla in the past?
Oh, dude. 2 months or so? I bought a Tesla because of that. I actually sold I had a Mercedes, I had an AMG, and then I was like, you know what? I've had this for 2 years. It's time to change it up. And I've made so much money on Tesla that I actually bought a Tesla. I have a video that I'm making because of that. But I forget your question about what's the risk of selling options. Yeah. I want to hit on that because that's to answer that question. The risk is really you just own the shares. So that's it. So when you sell, there's two things you can do. You can sell cash secured puts or covered calls. So if you own 100 shares of something like the SPY, the QQQ, Amazon, Apple, you're going to hold it forever, right? But there's a way to generate short-term income every single week, every month, every 2 months, whatever. You can sell those contracts that are on the options chain. So now when this melts, you're collecting that money instead of hoping to God that you're right at the right time. You know what I mean? Instead of right at the wrong time, because options are calculated as the price, so whatever the price does, times volatility, times the time decay. And the time decay is as it gets closer to its expiration. So you have 3 things working against you when you buy an option. When you sell them, you're now the house of the casino, like I said. You're basically just waiting for it to expire to zero. Your only risk is on a cash secured put, is that you buy 100 shares, but you have enough cash to buy 100 shares. So let's say Amazon's at 200, right? And I sell cash secured puts at 190, maybe the contracts are worth $200. So you can buy calls, you can buy puts if you're familiar. It's like calls up, puts down. So if you buy those contracts, you're betting on the stock price to go down. If you're buying calls, you're betting on the stock price to go up. Now, if you sell those, that is like the game. Everyone on Wall Street I know sells options, makes millions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars. They're saying, why do the rich get richer? It's because they sell options on a weekly basis with this cash flow. So if Amazon is at 190, there's a contract this week worth $200. I'm selling that contract. I'm going to make $200, guaranteed. That credit goes directly into my account. I just collected $200 like I passed go in Monopoly. The only risk is that if Amazon falls to 185 that week, then I buy 100 shares at 190 instead of 185. So then I'm down $5 a share on my 100 shares. So $500, right? But I just made $200 on that premium. So now all I got to do is just wait for it to go up.
Because long term, it's going to go up.
Exactly. Yeah. So your risk is literally nothing, and I can buy shares cheaper. So if it's at 200, I'm willing to buy it lower. I'm willing to buy it here, but you know what? I'm going to pay myself. So I'm going to sell these options here. And then the best part about it, I get paid 3 ways in every trade I make, and everybody's like, how the hell do you do that? So let's say it goes to 185. Now I'm in the shares. I collected that $200, and then I wait. So now maybe Tesla or Amazon goes I don't know, they have news, they go up over time, the market's just running, and it's at 210. Now I'm up $30 a share or $20 a share on my cost basis. I got paid that $200 from selling that option. Now I can do something called a cover call. And it's the exact same thing on the other end. Instead of having the cash to buy the shares, if I sell an option, that's a cash secured put, and a cover call is when you already own the shares and you can generate income off of the shares you already own, it's such a beautiful game. It's not sexy. It's a slow grind up, but the amount of money that you can collect on a weekly basis is crazy. Because now if it's at 210 and I'm saying, all right, these contracts at 215 are now worth $250, $300, I can sell one contract, collect that $300, $250, $300, whatever it is. And the only risk I have there is if Amazon by Friday, the expiration date, Amazon's at like 215, 218, 219, I sell the shares at 215. But I'm selling the shares and I made that $20 in share price profit, plus the option premium I sold for the put. And now I have making option income every week. So you can sell them further out of the money as they decay every week and make income. And then $200 doesn't sound like a lot a week, but think of it if you have like, 100 grand and I'm able to buy or sell 10 of them a week. Now all of a sudden I'm making like $2,000, $3,000 a week just selling options, guaranteed income. So it's a lot to talk about, and it's kind of hard to describe.
And I'm guessing there's investment firms that are doing this at scale.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked at an asset management firm and like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Like they're using like hundreds of millions of dollars in like a cash secured put super far out of the money, which means like it's very unlikely that it's going to get there. So their chance of profit, even if you have a Robinhood account and you go to the options chain, you can see chance of like probability of profit. It shows that statistic on there, like 87, 98, 96%. Like, they're the house of the casino. When you sell these, you are now the house. And they're basically just like feeding it to the public to basically just buy them, and they're just losing value. They're just giving it to dumbasses that are just like trying to transact and make the social media post that said I made 200% overnight,
So how do you scale, right now it seems to be like you're doing it with all your money.
Yep.
Do you have plans to scale into investment money or?
Yeah, I'm actually in talks right now to start a hedge fund, but that's in the works. So I don't know if I want to talk about that yet.
Cool. That's cool, man. And then when you sell, you have to pay capital gains on that?
Yeah. Okay. So it's short-term capital gains on that, but it's on like $200, $300. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that much. And if you're selling cover calls on it that are far out of the money, you're just paying capital gains on the those trades, right? Not the actual like principal of the money. So for example, I'll give you a trade that I just did. So Tesla just fell to like 275, right? My cost basis, I bought, I think 600 shares at like 280, right? So it's a hefty investment, but it's a trade for me. And overall, I'm up a shit ton right now because it's at 335, I think, right before we walked in. So it bounced like crazy, but I'm selling cover calls on it beginning now. So it started to run, and I'm going to sell like cover calls this week at like 360 because I don't think it's going to get that high this week. So I'm going to generate income, and those are the short-term gains. The only time I'll ever pay taxes is if I get the shares exercised. So there's a little bit of strategy behind it where it's like, I don't want to sell 340 calls this week because it's only $4 away. These are going to be more expensive. Like I can collect more money, but it's better to go a little bit higher.
What's your average on the Tesla shares?
Like overall, like $85, okay. But that's like long-term portfolio. Yeah. But in the trading
on these
portfolio,
recent ones, what is it?
285 right now, 286.
Okay. And then what did it get down to? Because there was one video where you were down 50K.
Oh, it got bad. Yeah. That was That was the whole like Trump tariff, everything. It got down to 220.
Okay.
And that was Elon in politics getting just shit on.
Yeah, so you're 285 down to 220, but it's back up to 340. So you're good.
I'm chilling.
Okay.
Yep. And there's also something called leverages. So like there's like 2x leverages where $285 a share is a lot for some people, right? But now there's leverages out there.
You got to buy 100 shares.
Got to buy 100 shares.
So 28K.
But now
Yeah.
Now there's leverages out there. Like
Yeah.
TSLL does double what Tesla does percentage wise, and it's $10. So, I mean, that's $1,000 to sell 100 shares. Your premiums are smaller, but you're still collecting income, and it's just a slow grind scale up.
Yeah. And it may be a little more risky because
Yep.
Tesla's not going anywhere.
Exactly. It's risky because if Tesla's down 10% a day, you're down 20%, but it's on $1,000. So realistically, you're trying to scale to get to that point. But it's the same principle. It's like if you see Tesla discounted, I mean, TSLL was at 16 during that whole crazy fest. It just went down to 10.50. So it's like you just 60% of a loss. Say this is a discount. I'll buy this, and once Tesla bounces, it's back up to like 13. So
what's up, you guys? I wanted to introduce to you our done-for-you Airbnb investing service called B&B Turnkey that has massive tax implications. It's basically an investing service that allows you to invest in cash flowing Airbnbs and not do any of the work. It's best explained in 3 phases. Number 1, we find, analyze, and underwrite the property. In phase 2, we handle all the interior design and construction. And then phase 3, we manage the property on the back end. The best part is most of our clients qualify for the short-term rental loophole of the IRS tax code. This allows for average clients to write off over $200,000 in depreciation on their tax bill. For more information, click the link in the description to connect with our team. As always, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the episode.
Well, I want to dig into Premium Collection Academy and everything else you're doing on the marketing front and the basketball front as well. We'll get into that. But I want to take a step back first.
That's a lot of information to kick this off.
Yeah. So,
Sorry.
but that was perfect. I'm even like intrigued, listening and learning. So were you straight to Wall Street from college?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Cool. Which is kind of crazy, man, because I come from like the mud, like literally the trenches, single mom, small town of like 6,000 people in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, like Amish town, 5 brothers, and 1 sister, 4 brothers, 3 brothers, 1 sister, there's 5 of us total. No industry, refinery, you're working at Lowe's mixing paint, or like you're like chopping down trees. There's nothing. So like I just knew that there was something else out there. And long story short, without getting into like the details of all of it, is playing basketball kind of like helped me get out there, travel more for basketball. I started getting some offers for colleges and then starting touring different places. I'm like, damn, there's like life elsewhere. Like there's civilization, like there's like a grocery store. But so I mean, Wall Street was like directly after college. So I ended up going to like a 40,000 person school, university, West Virginia University, had a great time, met a lot of people, joined like a pretty good finance club. And then just being social and I feel like getting in the right rooms. We took a trip up to New York City and we had a really great professor. Shout out Dr. Boyd. She literally kind of like changed my entire life. With no connections to New York City. My sister's lived there for her whole life. So I would visit her, but she's in the fashion industry. It's just not something that I really wanted to pursue. Yeah. She does very well for herself. She scaled the corporate ladder. She's in almost the C-suite now at Coach, but that just wasn't the route that I wanted to take. I wasn't really the fashion guy. Look at me. So I went. So, I mean, I interned there and it was great and everything. And I just used it to like leverage connections. And then on a trip with that finance class from college, we went up to the New York Stock Exchange, like Bank of America, these wealth management firms, like these big places. And West Virginia doesn't have a good connection because it's a shitty school. It's like a 98% acceptance rate and it's a big parties town. So
burn couches and everything.
Yeah. When our team's good, which is never, but we went up to New York one time and then I met this guy on the floor. His name was Glenn Carell. And I made a really big investment back in the day in Square when it was basically, there was an article. I remember this like yesterday. It was an article by this publisher, journalist named Dan Dolev. And he created this whole thing called, there's a FANG stock, but there should be FANGs. And the S stood for, like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. And then he created this article about Square. And I was an early investor in Square. I had like no money, but like in the investment fund, I was given like 30K. And I bought Square at like $11 and it shot all the way up to like 110. So I was like a big investor on like Square back in the day. Now it's payment processing has kind of lost its touch. But back then it was a cool trade. And Glenn Carell on the floor of the exchange, was trading that company. So on the floor, there's a couple different units. You're a DMM, a designated market maker, and you get your own panel of like, most of them are like 300, 400 stocks because they're all algorithms nowadays. So it's not really like a lot of proprietary trading. But he was trading Square, and then we kind of connected off of it. Turns out he's a West Virginia University alumni. I invited him out that same night while we were up in New York to dinner. We ended up staying out till like 3 a.m., drank like a gallon of wine, and then stayed in touch afterwards. Then he came up after I graduated, and or I went up there and I interviewed with the firm. And they don't usually hire young guys anymore because it's kind of like a dying industry. You know, it's more trading, high frequency stuff. And then we just hit it off, and then he offered me the job there. So I was super grateful for that. But that was a crazy experience.
That's cool. And then what was the exit from Wall Street to kind of move to Tampa, I'm guessing, and to go on your own? And what was that mindset?
COVID. And I was miserable for a while, man. Like, I was in New York, and I love New York City. I mean, I'm a diehard New York guy. Like, I might move back. My idea here is to do like a 6 month thing.
6 months and 1 day here, of course.
Yeah, of course. One day, yeah. Got to get the taxes. But I don't, man, there's something about New York. It's the energy. It's everything. It's the food. It's the culture. It's the people. It's just, a lot of people don't like it because they visit it and they go in like Midtown and everything. But the reason
I like it. Yeah. I mean, I like Midtown.
Yeah. Really? Damn.
And
I hate Midtown. It smells like piss.
I like Soho.
Yeah, that's great.
My wife's best friend used to live in Soho, so we'd go like visit once or twice a year. I like visiting New York. I would want to live there.
Have you been to Brooklyn?
No.
All right.
Good Brooklyn.
I'll send you some good recommendations, man. Yeah, because I mean, it's you go to one stop across the bridge, and you can drive over there. There's parking. Doesn't smell like piss. There's no homeless. There's no traffic, and it's just neighborhoods. If you ever walk down like downtown St. Pete, like Central Avenue, it's like that, but 10 times better. It's like brownstones.
Where are you from?
Staten Island.
Oh, that's
But right next to Brooklyn.
okay. Yeah, but it's been gentrified like crazy, and it's like and it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just me personally. It's probably like a personal preference, but I'm a diehard Williamsburg guy, and you can look at the city, like you get to see it. You're not in it. I don't know. It's like good backdrop, but the reason I left was because of COVID, and that kind of like instilled me to become like an entrepreneur. And my story is basically like I was rolling a ball in a cup when I was sitting in my apartment because I got COVID. I think I was like patient number 19. Like, you know, when they were like tracking it, I was like literally like patient 19. I went in there like, you have this. I'm like, fuck. And I gave
I'm
it.
gonna die.
Yeah. It was actually terrifying, dude. Cause like at that time,
at that point,
And I'm in New York. It's like the hub of it right now. And I'm sitting in my apartment. I can't go home. All my roommates left at the time. And I'm just sitting there, and I was like recording myself on TikTok because I was so bored. It was like brand new. I rolled a ball in a cup from like down the hallway, 6 shot. But I got like 1.7 million views. I'm like, the fuck? And then I started like doing like other weird shit, like cooking stuff. And I was like just bored in my apartment. I'm getting like hundreds of thousands of views. And I'm like, I should turn this into something.
Yeah.
And then I started talking about stocks, getting hundreds of thousands of views. TikTok ended up blowing up. And then long story short, it grew it to like 100,000 followers, all this stuff. And I started to monetize it, create a digital product. And then while I'm at home, I can't go into work. You know, I'm like working remote. They moved me up to the asset management office. I just quit. Like I was like, fuck it. I can build my own thing here, trade my own money. And the market just died. So I was like, the little amount of money that I made, you know, I could turn that into something. But that's kind of why I left.
And why Tampa?
I did a cross country trip. You know, I was online. COVID was happening. Everything was shut down in New York City.
But
yeah. So I did a cross country trip. One day I got in the car. I was like, fuck it. I don't have any expenses in my business. So I'm going to go travel and create content around the country. So I did like the trading and traveling like segment on YouTube. And I stopped in like 34 different states over the course of 3 months, just hopped in a car. I'm actually banned from this company called Sixt, a car rental company, because they said that unlimited miles, like you can rent it for unlimited miles. I think that I don't think they expected somebody to just put 29,000 miles on a car when it's a brand new BMW. They were pissed. So anytime I try to like check out, put my name in there, it just comes up unavailable. It's so funny.
That's funny. But
yeah, so I mean, this was one of the places that I liked a lot. Like no taxes obviously is the big thing. There was like Texas, Florida, Nevada, and Tennessee. And I'm a Titans fan, but Tennessee's landlocked. Nevada's also landlocked. I don't like Vegas. And Texas is also kind of landlocked. So
how old are you?
28.
I think that's cool because at that point you're like 25 when you're doing.
Yeah, 24.
24. So 24 years old. You got a good job in New York. Most people will just keep taking that good job.
Yeah.
And when I like the stat, it's to make $100K in a year, all you gotta do is make $273 a day.
Yeah.
Or like, and that's easy to do.
Yeah.
It's not hard at all.
Yeah.
And people get stuck in these, 9-to-5 jobs so your story is inspiring. That's cool.
Well, it's like, what's also is like how, right? Like people probably look at that stat and it's like, how the hell am I going to make $270? Now to us, like obviously like as entrepreneurs, like you can make that in a second, right? But I always try to think back, and I'm going back to my hometown. I was thinking about this on the drive home. 6,000 people, farm town. My mom's like, we're super poor. Like we grew up super poor. Now I like pay the bills and help take care of her and stuff. But like it's like you go back to those places and you remember, like it grounds me a lot. It's like, holy shit, there's like a completely different life. Like down in Florida, Tampa, New York City, you're not surrounded by that shit unless you like walk on the streets and it's homeless people. It's like, oh, they went down a wrong path. But like 87% of America or something crazy is like, doesn't even have $1,000 to their name. Mm-hmm. So like you go back to these places like where I grew up and it like grounds you a lot. It's like $300 in a day. Like, fuck, that's $1 million to these people. Mm-hmm. You understand? Like sometimes like my mom will sometimes tell me she comes home and she works like she still likes to work a little bit. Like she does like this marina stuff. Like my sister and I kind of take care of her mostly now, but she works at this marina, like just serving because she wants to be like, social in the town, knows everybody. Obviously there's like 4 people there, but she'll make like $30 in tips after like a 12-hour workday and she's pumped. She's like $30. I'm like, it's just different. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's just things that we've probably gotten so far removed from. Yeah. Cause like $300 doesn't sound like a lot, but damn, man, that's to like 87% of America. That's a shit ton of money.
I agree that like there's sometimes we get so far into this that we forget about the path. I talk to my dad all the time who, similar to your mom, just everything. He, had a good living, in his career. He worked for GE, maybe between probably, 70, 80, 90K, depending on the year. Yeah. So when I tell him like, some of the stuff that we're doing and how successful we've been, it's like the opposite is true too. It's like mind blowing to him sometimes.
100%.
And
I mean, it's inspiring. It's like there's a reason that's inside of you though. Like there's something that like you probably experienced or like what inspired you to get to this point.
That was my next question. Like, what do you think? What's inside of you and your sister you think that changed the course of everything?
Fear of probably like ever living that lifestyle that we did when we were growing up, probably, and like just knowing that there's a better path. You know what I mean? Like in a small town like that, you're like surrounded by addiction, drugs. Like it gets as dark as you think dark could get in a town like that. And then there's just, people are just trapped. And it's just like, as beautiful it is to go home to be like, this is where I grew up. It's beautiful terrain. It's in the mountains. It's like, this is like where I grew up. There's also a sense of like, damn, like there's nothing here. You know what I mean? And like the things that we got to experience, I think it's like a fear aspect. It's like, I never want to not know if I can afford my next meal. I never want to like live in a town like this where it's just constant like gloom of like a gloomy energy. I don't know. I think that
I remember when that happened to me, when I made my first decision that like, all right, I got to change something. Yeah. We just graduated, and me and my wife were both teachers for a year. I was a high school teacher, in 12th grade economics and 9th grade geography. Yeah. And my wife was a 6th grade English teacher, and we were at Old Navy, and she wanted these shoes. They were called booties. They were like $20 a piece. Yeah. There's a brown pair and a black pair. And she wanted both. And I had to be like, hey, we can only afford one. Damn. They're $20 shoes. Yeah. At that point, I'm like, all right, you can't even afford to buy your wife 2 pairs of shoes. So that's kind of when I made the decision to like, I didn't know what it was going to be. Yeah. Because, I don't come from a family of entrepreneurs. Yeah. Just Piedmont, South Carolina, kind of similar to you, some super small town. And but that's when I made the decision that like we're gonna figure this out. Yeah.
And that's just powerful, man. Like that's like you look at something like that and it's like talking about it sounds sad, right? And there's one story that sits in my mind is like my mom one time, this one's so sad to think about, but like we wanted ice cream. Right, we wanted like a thing of ice cream. She didn't have money to buy the ice cream, so she stole it. And the people from the gas station called the cops on her. And my mom was like crying in the parking lot. We're like watching her like cry because she couldn't afford the ice cream, right? And like those things are like sad to think about. And I think that's like the thing that put it in me. But like even for your story, like not being able to buy the shoes, like it sounds sad, but it's like those moments, like that's what puts it inside of you. It's like, there's got to be a better way. I want to take care of people. I never want to go through that again. It's like, it sounds sad, but it's also like that biggest motivating like point. Yeah. So I don't know.
So you got to Tampa. What'd you start doing? You're still doing the content train, of course.
What did I start doing in Tampa?
St. Pete.
St. Pete is great.
I keep saying Tampa.
Well, I moved there first.
Oh, you did?
I moved to Channelside and I regretted every second of it. I hated it so much.
Really?
And I am just like the biggest basher of Tampa, and I probably shouldn't. Apologies to Tampa. It's
I like Waterside or Water Street.
That's where I lived, man. And I wanted to fucking run through a wall. It's not bad. I don't want to talk bad on Tampa. I think it's a great place. I think it's a growing city. I just think that it's still figuring itself out. And I think that the people that are moving there are figuring themselves out. And it gives me like a kind of like a flashy Miami vibe, but it's nowhere near a Miami vibe. And I'm paying like $200 a meal for what?
Yeah.
There's nothing here. Like in Water Street, there's 3 restaurants and they're charging like an arm and a leg. Like how is rent that high when you go on when you turn around Wall Street, you're in a dirt lot. Like, I don't know. But Tampa's great. When I got here, I moved to St. Pete about a year ago now. This is more of like my speed, more of like a city vibe, walkable, down to earth people. What do you mean? What did I do? Just like business wise or just like kind of chilling?
Business wise.
Business wise, I created my first course actually. When I got to Tampa, that was one of my main things I wanted to do.
We can dig into that. Premium Collection Academy, correct?
That was the first one that led into the Premium Collection Academy. The first one was more of like, just like how to get started in the market, like for very beginner basic stuff. Recorded a bunch of content and I've been scaling my marketing company with my business partner. That was one of the main reasons I moved down here is because, we get a lot of revenue from that. So we want to not pay New York City state and island tax because Manhattan's technically an island. But and then that was it. And then about 9 months ago, I started a basketball league too, which is more like a passionate thing. So yeah, I mean, just all over the place.
And then go through your course now, the Premium Collection Academy. What is the Premium Collection Academy?
So the Premium Collection Academy was a thought over Christmas because all I do is sell options, right? And there's no one, you look up anything on social media, you're not going to find it. You look it up on YouTube, you might find it, but they teach it so shitty. Like, it's almost like, I actually looked up this stat. So it's a crazy stat. I think it's in my video. I don't want to say the wrong stats, but I think it's 30% of world population knows how to invest, right? And then 17% of that 30% still is actively invested in the stock market worldwide. 17% of 30% of the population. And then less than 1% of the entire world population knows how to sell options. Less than 1%. And it's this foolproof given strategy where all these hedge funds, all these Wall Street guys are making millions of dollars off the strategy because it's literally designed to profit. And there's no information on it. It's insane. Like, you go to YouTube, you go to Google, and they just feed you this, like, oh, you have to do this, and it's a very like financial, whatever, like explanation, right? It's not going to educate anybody that doesn't have that because they try to make it a completely different language. So the Premium Collection Academy is literally the dumbed down version in 7 videos in under 2 hours. If you just sit down with a test at the end with live executions of me doing it, explaining it like I just did in the beginning of this, just more visually, and actual live trading. And then from there, that's it. Like, it's literally just educating people on how to sell options. And it's called Premium Collection because options have premiums. Mm-hmm. And then you're just collecting that premium every single week or every month or whatever you do. So you're just collecting money on money that's already invested. So I'm trying to like educate. I keep saying this. I just want to educate 1% more of the population. And that's my goal. And that's a shit ton,
that's
obviously. It's a lot of people. But it just sounds like if I educate even 1%, I change a lot of lives. Yeah. You know what I mean? So as much content as I can create, as many people as I can tell, like, it's not this feed you bullshit story like most of social media is. It's like, this is a foolproof strategy I learned on Wall Street. There's no materials out there. Look it up on YouTube. You might find a couple of YouTube guys out there that explain it well. But it's not organized. You know what I mean? So this is Premium Collection Academy is just an organized course with very limited time invested. And if you have a good amount of money, like I would say anywhere above 10 to 20K, I think it's worth somebody's time. I wouldn't say if it's like you're just starting out, but
And like when you first get a student in there, like what are you trying to teach them? What's like the transformation you're aiming for with them?
I think it's just like to open their eyes. I think that every single person that has gone in there, and I'm very transparent up front. I'm like, this is a strategy that's not sexy. It's not going to be like a social media, you made 1,000% overnight, but you're going to be able to generate consistent income for yourself. And it's a piece of knowledge that you can do for the rest of your life. You're basically set. You know, like I just talked about the fear of going back to the life I lived when I was growing up. I don't really have that. Oh, it's always in the back of my mind, but I have now mastered a skill that I don't really need to worry about that anymore. You know, I have a nice cash pile that I can continually generate income off of. The stock market's never going to go away.
What would you say, like you and the people that you know well that do, that sell options, 100K, like what do you think the return is on that 100K in a 12-month period?
Oof. It's tough because it's trading, right? So it's a little bit, it's tough because it just depends on like market flows, but.
Like if that's you, what are you like, what's like, all right, a good year? What's a good year for you?
Well, I'm actually just now starting a model. I'm about 4 months in, and I'm just selling options on a 100K account and actually 250K account. And right now I'm averaging anywhere from 3 to 4% on the entire account a week. So on a monthly basis, about 9%. So I'm trying to get anywhere from like an 80 to 100% return just selling these options. So a year annually. Yeah. And it's basically risk-free unless I own the shares. But even if I get exercise on the shares, then I'm making more than 100%. So they're riskier premiums like a Tesla, for example, or like a Coinbase. But it all comes down to like, this is a great discount. I would buy the shares here.
So you're doing the same thing with crypto too?
No, you can't really. There's not really an options market in the crypto world.
You're talking about Coinbase, the stock.
Stock.
Okay.
Stock. Yeah, because they have great premiums. Like the higher, like Apple, for example, great stock, but the premiums are small because the stock doesn't move much. More volatile stocks have higher premiums to sell, so it means you can collect more.
Gotcha.
So,
what's next with the course? What's next with social media? Your marketing company, your basketball. What are you most focused on right now?
And I'm everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
I'm super passionate about the basketball league, man. It's something that I don't care about the money.
Yeah.
It generates.
I don't think you're like too all over the place. I think the basketball is a hobby. The other stuff all works together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. Yeah. I mean, if I focus solely like on the marketing company, we could probably blow it into like a 8-figure, 9-figure company with like a 75%, 80% margin, which we could probably crush it, but it's not something that I really want to like go all in on. I kind of like, you know, meeting people, just kind of living life now that I've gotten comfortable. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about a hedge fund. I'm just like kind of just living life at this point, just trying to figure it out. Like I feel like everybody is, you know, like everybody's got their business that they're working on that's doing well. And then they always, you know.
Do you have a focus on the academy? Are you trying to grow that?
Yeah, for sure. The academy is, I should probably focus on that a lot more. I mean, I have quite a few sales on it already. Use my organic audience. I post about it. I try not to be like too in your face. I probably should run ads on it through my marketing company, which I will here pretty soon. I just want.
How many students do you have in the course?
I think there's 45 now. $2,500 price point.
You're 6 months in.
Yeah, I started in January, and I don't market it at all. So like my organic audience, I mean, 45 sales of $2,500. I don't even know what that math is, but
100K. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah. In 6 months, but I mean, I know that there's so much value in that. And that there's also like a live chat. So like if they ever have questions, like they can ask. Like I'm posting my covered call strategies or my cash secured puts that I'm selling in there every day. So there's a live trading feed that sends them an email if I post about it too. I should probably focus on that a little bit more, but that $2,500 is crazy because like my top student in there right now is up almost like 75 grand and he bought it in February. He's crushing it. But he does like a lot of leverages. So I mean, he sold a lot of cash secured puts, covered calls, and he got in these leverages during this correction. And he's basically like tripled his money. It's crazy.
That's cool. So what's this basketball league?
The basketball league is called the Coulda Been League.
I can get in that league.
Which is, man.
The Coulda Been League.
That's what I thought. So I played basketball my whole life. I would consider myself pretty good, man. Like I'm probably averaging like 20 a game in this league right now. I was averaging about the same in high school. College offers stuff, but the Coulda Been League was supposed to be like kind of like Drewski's, like Coulda Been Records. Like I kind of got it off that. Just supposed to be like funny things, super local. And then it exploded. Like I have ex-pros in there, current pros, Finland, Portugal. There's guys that play in Puerto Rico that are back for the summer. They play in my league. These dudes are like, there's guys that are 6'10" in there, 6'8", 6'7", huge, super competitive. And there's like 7 top teams that are like, could probably compete in just about any tournament around the country. Like some of these like pro-am stuff. These guys are disgusting. Yeah, it's Tampa. Some guys come over from St. Pete. I'm trying to expand it. I actually just developed an app for it. You come in as a player. There's an app. It's like shows your statistics. There's a like schedule, standings. There's a chat. There's a merchandise in there too. And I'm trying to do it local. So let's say there's 10 teams in the top league. I'm trying to partner with like local business owners, bars, restaurants, whatever. The championship winner gets a team dinner at the Hat Tricks. You familiar with Hat Tricks? So they get a team dinner there. They get fully comped everything. So they're competing for something, right? It's a little bit different than any men's league where it's like they give you a shitty t-shirt. They're just trying to make money off you. They let you play. They give you shitty whatever. I'm playing in an NBA sponsored court facility by the Toronto Raptors. There's 3 courts in there. It's beautiful. It's called the Skill Center in Tampa. And we're there every Sunday. And I have these jerseys that are reversible. So it's like black and white jerseys. And then I have refs in there. They're pretty high quality refs. They're all certified. And I have an application for it and I get content every single week. So I'm posting stuff all the time on the social media handles. Could have been league, but I also have it up in Boston. We have a paid tournament that's sponsored by the Boston Celtics in Boston in July coming up. It's a 3-on-3 tournament and it's a cash prize tournament. We're actually taking some of the best players from down here and participating in this Bay Area showdown down here. It's me and like 6 other guys that are just enormous. Like I got 2 guys that are 3 guys that are pro, 4 XD1 guys. That one played at Florida State, one played at UF, and we're competing for $15,000 at the end of the month. It's actually in 2 weeks. I got to start training a little bit harder. Yeah. But it's cool, man. I'm just growing this brand, and it's cool. It's funny. It's supposed to be like the Drewski funny content, like where people are bad, but it just came out of nowhere with like all of this talent. So I'm trying to take it a different angle, but now I have an app behind it. There's like a little bit of a tech behind it, and I'm trying to franchise it out to other cities and states. Like I'm bringing it up to New York here in a couple months. So it's fun.
I feel like your trading's blown up, your social media is blown up. Now this basketball league's blowing up. Your academy's blowing up. Like, for those listening, like what kind of, like how have all these blown up so much?
I think it's just passion, man. I think you can be successful in anything you do. Like if you just do it the right way and you're just a good person. Like I'm not really like a fuck you guy until you're a fuck you guy to me. You know what I mean? Like I'm just welcoming to every single person that's in there. I try to help out as much as I can. Like even the basketball facility, like they don't need to rent it out to me. They're making a shit ton of money. It's an NBA sponsored court. But I just made a really good relationship with the guy that owns it. I'm the last guy in the gym cleaning up all the water bottles, making sure there's no spills. Like it's dark in there. Mm-hmm. I'm just like respectful where I go, like and I just know where I need to dedicate time. Like in the Premium Collection Academy, it's real value. It's different than other people. It might be a slow grind up and I might not make $1 million overnight off of it, but at some point here, it's going to blow up. You know what I mean? Like it's just never leaving any place, never leaving any room, like in a bad situation, I guess.
I think one thing that you talked about that I agree with a lot is like being willing to help for nothing, like for free. And not necessarily for free, but like even with the academy, they paid, we have a live chat and you're answering people independent, like personally. Yeah. It'd be so easy for you to, all right, here's the, $2,500. Like, yeah, sure. Shoot me an email. I'll email you back in 4 days. Yeah. Versus like, I think that's tremendous.
It's quick responses too. Yeah. Like you won't text me and if I don't respond in an hour, that's rare. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like usually it's like within the next 3 minutes, 2 minutes, or whatever. Like I'm very responsive and like just active everywhere I am.
I'm very passionate about sales and growth. So I still, even though, we have, closing in on 120 employees now and multiple businesses.
Good for you, man.
I still, to this day, like we just closed a deal for property management property this morning. And the sales rep asked me to send a video to the owner explaining some things. The video ended up being like 27 minutes. And I'm just like diving in, like loving every bit of it. And I think it's very important that I continue to do that no matter from, property 600 to property 60,000.
Yeah.
Or business number 70, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Time is limited, but it's so easy to put a video together and send it.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be that long of a video. It could have been a 1-minute video, And so, but like when we start talking about something, you just
go.
We just keep going.
Yeah.
So,
well, you've come a long way from this not affording $20 pair of shoes, man. It sounds like you're blowing up too.
I mean, even like I talk to my wife Kyla all the time. It's just like it almost still hasn't really hit yet of the success we've had. And it was, part of my story is crazy too. I was making around $500,000 before I even started this company.
Damn, dude,
as a sales rep, in part owner in another company. So we talked about earlier, it's hard to go from, $100K start your own thing. It's really hard to go from $500K to start your own thing because
for that, that's crazy. You're in the top 1% of America at that point.
And
man.
so it was like, but also, and that was like going to be more or less the case for at least the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Nothing was going to change that income. But I wanted something special.
Yeah. You wanted something that you felt was yours, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like the sales part also just helps. Like once you learn sales and you meet a lot of people, you realize like you can do anything. Yeah. That's like the root of all of it.
Yeah. And you even said it too, like working really hard at building your network, understanding how to leverage your network.
Yeah.
And then what I like about you, even just from our short conversation, I think it's really very, very, very important to remain grounded and humbled.
Yeah. I agree.
People respect that. There's a group I'm a part of. It's called YPO, Young Presidents Organization. Have you heard of it? Mm-hmm. You might find it interesting. I think it's like 40 and under only. Now you can like get in at 38, and then they don't kick you out when you turn 40, but you can't get in for the first time unless you're under 40.
Okay.
And your businesses have to be doing a certain amount of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
They like have to have a letter from your CPA too. It's not like you can't just tell them, I'm doing this. Like there's got to be a legit letter. But I met some phenomenal people on there, and they've been on the podcast. Nick Friedman, the founder of College Hauling.
Oh, he was on my podcast.
Yeah. Justin Caballero, the founder of Revive Homes, and more, but those two dudes especially, like, if you happen to run into them at a Chipotle, like, you'd never know. These dudes are just, like, absolutely
crushing it. Yeah.
And so I respect that a lot.
100%.
It's easier when we come from where we come from.
Yeah.
Because we know how the opposite side is.
Oh, dude. I think that's another piece that rubbed me the wrong way about Tampa. I just felt like everyone was trying to drive a Lamborghini and all this, like just be something that like, for what? And I'm like, I'll drive a beat up Honda if I have to.
Which is like why dating is so important in my opinion. One of the top things in dating is understanding goals and legacy and dreams of your spouse and your partner. Like my wife and I are like locked in on that together. Like she's not interested in going to International Mall and dropping $50K, or like, but I think the same thing. She comes from humble beginnings too.
Yeah.
And so, where we say all the time on social media, where people are just like, whether it's clothes or bags or plastic surgery or whatever it may be, they're just like wasting money.
I didn't say this yet. This is another statistic. Crazy. It's like 85% of all like major fashion designers like Louis Vuitton or like Chanel, their sales, 85% of it comes from the middle and poor class.
It's insane.
Isn't that crazy? So 15% of their sales actually come from people that can really afford it. So it's just people always trying to look the part. That's where 85% of their inventory comes from, or their revenue. Which isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That kind of blew my mind. I was like, you know what? All right. So
people trying to like look
the part.
Look the part, especially on social media.
Well, you got to fake it till you make it. I get it. But like at some point, it's just too obvious. And it's like, I don't want to work with
somebody. At some point, it's stupid to be making those decisions.
Yeah. It's like, why? I mean, I'm kind of in the mindsets now. It's like, if I'm going to spend like 20 grand on a watch, like I've been looking at this new Rolex that I really want. I'm like, 20 grand? Do you understand? I'm like, you understand how much money?
She was making fun of me the other day, or she didn't know she was making fun of me. And if you're listening, this my assistant and podcast producer, Victoria, who's an absolute boss. But I wear a black tee and a white tee pretty much every day.
This is all I got.
Yeah.
Man.
This is the first time
I
I've
put my
worn.
best shirt on for you.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. This is the first time I haven't worn a black t-shirt or a white t-shirt since probably May 1st, and it's June 10th, whatever it is. And she said something like as if I only had one white t-shirt or one. I was like, Victoria, I have like 8 black t-shirts. I don't wear the same t-shirt every day.
She has like a mustard stain on it.
Like, you think I wear the same t-shirt every day?
Switch them out though. You go one day black, one day white.
Yeah.
One day black.
So my poor wife would be just doing laundry every single day.
Yeah.
Like, no.
That's good, man.
I mean, your story is very powerful. I'm actually like juiced up talking to you a little bit.
We could talk, man. We could talk about some of the stuff. If you're not familiar with the market, I mean, I'm always open to have a conversation about it. It's really is as soon as you learn it, you never need to talk about it again, really, other than seeing opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like once you have the knowledge, it's like it's with you for life.
Well, let's end with this. With the podcast being more or less on successful DNA, we talked about it a little bit. Let's dive in a little bit more, maybe 1 or 2 points where there's you, your sister, people you've been around, people you've learned from. What are like 1 or 2 key points of the DNA inside of someone that you think they have to be successful?
2 things inside of, I feel like everyone's different, right? But there's got to be passion. I think passion is a huge aspect to it. It doesn't matter if you're, building the next big real estate development company or the next big AI, or you want to make the best flavored beef jerky. Like maybe you like farming, and you want to build like a cool farm, right?
Dude, speaking of beef jerky, I feel like Chomps has absolutely blown up in the past 6 months.
The reason I said that is because I met somebody at a flea market that is like, he's like, yeah, I started this like spicy beef jerky and it tasted insane. It was like a little bit different how he did it. And I mean, he's like all over the country now getting licensing deals. I'm like, damn, so you're going to get rich off beef jerky? You can really do whatever you want. I mean, there's people getting rich off of fake plants, man.
One of the best advice I got about that is there's a million ways to make $1 million.
Yeah.
And like, there's so many things out there.
And anything, man. People are selling balloons. People are getting rich off silly bands. That guy lives in Tampa too.
Yeah.
Like there's,
He's supposed to come on the podcast.
yeah, that'd be a cool one to have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. But
I remember middle school, elementary school, trading silly bands, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
yeah, I mean, that shit is like, it creates a culture and community, man. I mean, if you have passion, you can make it in anything. It's just, you got to be able to be brave, I guess. Like you said, like, can you hang up that safety 70, 80K? And it's like, you look at your phone and calculate, it's like, oh, I only need to make $270 a day. But it's, a lot of people are probably like, how do I do that? Do I sell a product? Because social media, there's so much noise. It's like, oh, I could trade stocks and make $1 million. Oh, I could do real estate and make $1 million. Oh, I could do Amazon drop shipping and make $1 million. There's so many different things that Amazon or like social media tries to pull you in to do. So I think that you need to be passionate and you need to be able to have focus a little bit, like stay in your lane, network outside of places, of course, but don't try to do too many things at once.
I would tie in obsession to passion as well.
Yeah.
Similar. I feel like that's where a lot of like our success has come, is not to be cliche, but like I still to this day don't feel like it's a job. Like it's something that's fun and that I lucked into, was blessed into, but I'm still obsessed with it.
Of course.
And there's pros and cons to that. It's hard sometimes to turn it off at home.
100%.
I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I want to be the best dad in the entire world.
Yeah.
But it's fun, man.
Yeah, of
it's
course.
It's the game of life almost.
Yeah, it is a game.
Yeah.
Once you realize that this sounds dark, but it doesn't really matter. Like, like what are you gonna do? What's the biggest failure?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna mess up and go back to that same job,
Yeah.
right? Like if it's not working out, give it like 2 years. Give it everything you possibly have. And if you're not crushing it at that point, then maybe just go. Your worst case scenario is where you're exactly at.
I feel like that's another problem with social media is like, and I try and encourage our team here because most of them are all in their 20s and just trying to make it in life. And they see on social media every Friday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, people partying, people going out, people like in my opinion, like, sure, you got to have a social life, you got to have friends, but most importantly, like say you're 8 hours at work and you're 8 hours sleeping, so you got 8 hours left.
Yeah.
Right? In that 8 hours, I mean, the majority of that for someone in their 20s that has a W-2 job or a 1099 sales job, whatever it is,
Yeah.
the majority of that 8 hours needs to be spent on a side hustle.
Yeah.
and trying to create something for yourself. If not a side hustle, at least the education behind something new.
Yeah.
Whether that's listening to your content. I mean, especially in today's world.
Yeah.
There's so much for YouTube, Instagram.
And I'm not even like that. Like I'm educational on there, but I'm not like active on there. I'm just more of like just being myself on there. And I'm just like trying to be like authentic. And if I see something or want to speak my mind, like some sort of, I need to take it a little bit more seriously because I think I could grow more followers. But
for most people in that extra 8 hours, they're scrolling through TikTok, they're, out partying, they're, playing video games, whatever it is. And it's like, I mean,
sometimes I'm envious because they don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
Like they're just scrolling. Like they work is done at 4 and then they're ready to, I don't even remember what that life was like anymore. It's like around the clock. So.
Man, dude, even like, and I think that's an important skill set to increase even as me and you get more and more and more successful. Like, and I'm like, talking the talk and walking the walk. Like my nights, especially when my wife's sleeping or, watching a movie, I'm working on some buddies on starting a more home services business.
Yeah.
We'll start with garage doors because that's the forte they're in. But then we'll move to, AC, HVAC, plumbing, electrical. I think it's going to be huge. That's going to go nowhere as, if the economy's down and your AC goes out in Florida, you still got to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
You'll
die, especially somebody like me that needs it like 65.
Yeah. And it'd be easy for me to go and, turn things off and not try and grow. But like, I don't know.
There's something inside of us. I don't know what it is. And maybe it is something that happened. Maybe it was your $20 pair of shoes. Maybe it was my mom's ice cream store.
I definitely think it's trauma related.
Could be.
I mean, that's proven that like typically the more trauma someone had in their childhood, the more successful they are.
Really? Oh shit, man! I should be a billionaire.
Yeah.
It's in everything though, like the gym or playing basketball or business or relationships. I guess like friendships. Like I really value my friendships. Like always trying to be there for them or like wanting to spend a lot of time with them. But I don't know. There's definitely something in there. So I guess I don't know what the DNA thing would be other than passion. I guess it's just maybe it's like an innate thing that you just have to discover. If it's something you really want, then you'll find it in there.
What do you want the legacy of Scott to be?
I want to change generational curses, I think. Yeah. I think that without getting into too many details, there's a lot of stuff that happens within my life that I think that it's my job to bury that completely and just set up like a whole new path, So, and just spread good in the world, I guess. Just kind of like when somebody thinks of me, obviously like 2 generations down the line, I'm a realist. No one's ever gonna fucking remember me. But like, for the people that do, it's like, damn, like when I go in a room, like I want to be a people congregator. I want to be like I do this all the time when I'm back in New York. Like they're like, oh, damn, we haven't all hung out in forever. It's like when I'm back, I bring like 30 people together. We all go to like Central Park and do something together. Like it doesn't have to be business wise, but it's even the thing in Tampa, the basketball league. It's like I got a message today from somebody, a voice message, which honestly was great. Just telling me, he's like, hey man, I really appreciate you bringing the league together. It's like brought a sense of community for me. Cool. Like it's just like something so like I just wanted to play basketball indoors and like people like, hey, I've met like some really good people here and like I just appreciate you bringing us together.
That's what I've like enjoyed about YPO. Being in North County, like Clearwater, and then we're moving to a large property in Tarpon Springs, like on the east side of Lake Tarpon. Most young people, entrepreneurs, people, mine and your age are in St. Pete like you are in Tampa. So it's been hard for me to meet people that have the same drive. And then, and so that's what I think masterminds are huge. I think groups are huge, whether it's a basketball league, whether it's something like YPO, or whether it's free events. Like it's the same thing. You get 8 hours of that extra. What are you doing with that extra?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's all about community, man, at the end of the day. So I guess my legacy selfishly would be like freedom to meet as many people as possible. And just make great connections along the way.
Well, you're doing it, bro.
Appreciate you,
cool.
Man. I appreciate you having me on too, man. I know I talked a lot.
Dude, we could have gone for another 2 hours easily.
I could pitch a tent and sleep here, man.
No, we'll definitely need to do a round 2, this time next year to see how things have evolved. It's gonna
I come back on here, I'm like wearing raggedy jeans. Like, it all went to shit, man.
No, there's no shot. There's no chance of that happening. The next 12 months are going to be huge for you. I'm excited to follow and watch. And where can people find more about you?
On social media, I have everything at Scott Gives Value. So that's
Scott
TikTok,
Gives Value.
Instagram, everything like that.
Cool. Well, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Successful DNA. Scott, thanks for coming, bro.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I really enjoyed it.